Welcome, everyone, dear listeners. It's a pleasure to have you with us today. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our future stories. Now, let's begin our tale. In the gentle embrace of dawn, the sun's golden fingers began to stretch across the eternal city, casting long shadows that danced upon the cobblestones of ancient Rome. The air was crisp and carried with it the faintest whispers of the Tiber flowing steadfastly through the heart of the city. The streets, still kissed by the coolness of night, awaited the awakening of a civilization known for its grandeur and complexity. As the light intensified, the city began to stir. The harmonious clatter of sandals against stone, the resonant murmur of voices rising like a symphony, and the distant calls of merchants setting up their stalls in the bustling marketplace all contributed to the orchestrated chaos that was Rome. Among the masses of citizens, a lone figure stood, clad in a simple tunic, eyes wide with wonder and apprehension, an unwitting traveler, thrust from the present into this world of antiquity, tasked with surviving the day. The traveler took a tentative step forward, enveloped by the unfamiliar sights and sounds. The very air seemed alive, saturated with aromas both inviting and pungent. The sharp tang of vinegar mingled with the earthy richness of baked bread, while the scent of olive oil, freshly pressed, lingered like a promise. Yet, beneath these pleasant notes lay the undercurrent of the city's more primal odors: sweat, smoke, and the occasional pungency of the crowded streets. With each step, the traveler marveled at the intricate tapestries of life unfurling before them. Here was a group of matrons in flowing stolas, their laughter like tinkling bells as they gossiped beneath the colonnades. There, a cohort of legionaries, their armor glinting in the rising sun, marched with disciplined precision. And everywhere, the plebeians and patricians intermingled, each playing their part in the grand mosaic of Rome. The traveler's initial task, simple in theory yet daunting in practice, was to partake in the morning ritual of bathing, a fundamental aspect of Roman life. The public baths, or thermae, were hubs of social interaction, places where the body was cleansed and the spirit rejuvenated. With a deep breath, the traveler made their way towards one of these architectural marvels, the Baths of Caracalla, its towering columns and intricate mosaics a testament to the empire's opulence. Upon entry, the traveler was immediately enveloped by the steamy embrace of the caldarium, the hot room where bathers languished in the heat, their skin glistening with perspiration. The air was thick with moisture, and the traveler could almost taste the mineral richness of the water. It was a setting both intimate and communal, where the boundaries of personal space dissolved into shared experience. Here, the traveler observed the rituals of cleanliness and camaraderie. Men of all ages reclined, some discussing matters of state, others exchanging pleasantries or playful banter. Slaves moved silently among them, offering strigils to scrape away the sweat and oil, their movements efficient and unobtrusive. The traveler, hesitant but eager to blend in, accepted the proffered tool and mimicked the motions, feeling the satisfying rasp against their skin as impurities were shed. After the intense heat of the caldarium, the traveler progressed to the tepidarium, a space of transition where the warmth was gentle and soothing. The room was adorned with vibrant frescoes depicting mythological scenes, their colors vivid and captivating. As the traveler reclined on a marble bench, they found themselves lost in the artistry. The figures, seeming to come alive in the flickering lamplight. Finally, the frigidarium awaited, a plunge into cold water that invigorated the senses and sealed the cleansing process. The traveler hesitated at the edge of the pool, the water shimmering like liquid glass. With a resolve born of necessity, they submerged themselves, the chill a shock that quickly transformed into a tingling vitality. Emerging from the water, the traveler felt reborn, their senses sharpened and heightened. As the traveler dressed, they marveled at the efficiency and elegance of the Roman approach to hygiene, a blend of practicality and luxury that was both alien and fascinating. Yet, the day was still young, and the city beckoned with its myriad of challenges and wonders. Outside, the sun climbed higher, its warmth banishing the last vestiges of morning coolness. The traveler navigated the thronging streets, their destination a tavern where the promise of sustenance awaited. The journey was a sensory tapestry, rich and overwhelming. The clamor of vendors hawking their wares, the vibrant colors of fruits and fabrics, the laughter of children darting through the crowd like sparrows. Upon reaching the tavern, the traveler was met with the comforting aroma of cooked grains and roasted meats. Inside, patrons sat at low tables, their conversations a harmonious blend of languages and dialects. The traveler, guided by instinct, chose a rustic table near the hearth, the flickering flames casting a warm glow. The meal was a simple affair, yet rich in flavor. A bowl of pulse, a porridge of emmer wheat, was accompanied by olives, cheese, and a piece of crusty bread. The traveler ate slowly, savoring each bite. The textures and tastes a revelation. A cup of diluted wine completed the repast, its notes of sun-ripened grapes a perfect complement to the rustic fare. As the traveler dined, they listened to the stories that swirled around them, a tapestry of gossip and tales of political intrigue and heroic feats. The air was thick with the spirit of the Republic, alive with the ambitions and dreams of its people. Yet, beneath the surface, the traveler sensed currents of unrest, whispers of dissent that hinted at the fragile balance of power. With the meal concluded, the traveler rose, their body and spirit fortified for the challenges ahead. The day stretched out like a vast canvas, each moment a brushstroke in the grand painting of life in ancient Rome. The traveler, a stranger in this storied land, felt a growing kinship with the city and its inhabitants. As they stepped back into the sunlit streets, the traveler understood that to survive a day in ancient Rome was not merely to navigate its physical landscape, but to immerse oneself in its essence, to embrace its contradictions, its beauty and grit, its elegance and chaos. It was a challenge not just of endurance, but of spirit, a test of adaptability and openness to the unknown. The journey continued with the promise of further adventures and the ever-present hum of the city, a living, breathing entity that held within its heart the secrets of the ages. And so, with a spirit both cautious and curious, the traveler moved forward, ready to face whatever the ancient world might unveil next. As the traveler ventured deeper into the heart of Rome, the air seemed to shimmer with possibility. The city was a symphony of sounds and scents, a vibrant tapestry woven with the threads of countless lives. Market vendors shouted their wares, their voices a cacophony that mingled with the bleating of goats and the distant clang of a blacksmith's hammer. The aroma of freshly baked bread mingled with the pungent scent of tanned leather and the sweet, heady perfume of garlands woven with fresh laurel and violets. Navigating the narrow cobbled streets, the traveler found themselves drawn toward the Forum, the bustling center of Roman life. Here, beneath the shadow of grand temples and imposing columns, the pulse of the city seemed to beat strongest. Citizens swarmed like bees, their togas fluttering in the gentle breeze as they exchanged news and secrets, laughter and arguments, each interaction a fleeting moment in the ceaseless dance of life. As noon approached, the sun climbed higher, its golden rays casting long shadows that danced upon the stone edifices. Seeking respite from the heat, the traveler slipped into the cool embrace of a therme, one of the famed Roman bathhouses that promised not merely cleanliness, but a sanctuary for the spirit. The marble halls echoed with the gentle splash of water and the murmured conversations of patrons submerged in pools of varying temperatures. Inside, the traveler was enveloped by the soothing warmth of the caldarium, the hot bath, where steam rose in languid curls, caressing the skin like a lover's touch. The heat, intense and almost overwhelming, drew out the weariness from their muscles, leaving only a profound sense of relaxation. Here, in this communal space, the boundaries of social status blurred, and the traveler found themselves engaging in casual conversation with senators and soldiers alike, all equals in the embrace of the bath. After the caldarium, they moved to the tepidarium, the warm bath, where the water was a gentle balm, a bridge between extremes. The traveler felt the day's dust and sweat melt away, replaced by a renewed vitality. Finally, they plunged into the frigidarium, the cold bath, where the icy water shocked their senses into sharp clarity. Renewed and invigorated, they emerged from the baths to don their garments, the fabric cool against their clean, refreshed skin. As the traveler stepped back into the sun-drenched streets, they pondered the paradox of Roman hygiene. In a world without modern plumbing or antiseptics, the Romans had created these elaborate rituals of cleanliness, a testament to their ingenuity and their desire to conquer not just lands, but the very elements themselves. Yet, beyond the grandeur of the baths, lay the reality of the city's less savory aspects, open sewers and crowded tenements, where the line between life and decay seemed all too thin. The traveler continued their exploration, their senses heightened by the duality of the city. They wandered through narrow alleyways where laundry hung like colorful banners between buildings, and children played games of chase. The traveler paused at a fountain, its water clear and cool, and drank deeply, savoring the simple pleasure of quenching their thirst. Nearby, a group of women gathered, their laughter a bright melody as they shared gossip and tales of family, their hands deftly weaving baskets or spinning wool. The afternoon sun cast a golden glow over the city, painting everything in warm hues. The traveler found themselves drawn to the Circus Maximus, the grand arena where chariots raced in a blur of speed and dust, and the roar of the crowd was a living, breathing thing. Here, the air thrummed with excitement, and the traveler felt a surge of adrenaline as they watched the spectacle unfold. The charioteers, masters of their craft, guided their steeds with a dexterity that was both art and survival, their eyes fixed on the finish line as if the very gods were watching. As the races concluded, the traveler felt the pull of the Palatine Hill, where the opulent villas of the elite offered a stark contrast to the bustling chaos below. From this vantage point, the traveler could see the city spread out like a mosaic, each piece a story in its own right. The breeze was cooler here, scented with the fragrance of cypress and the distant sea. The traveler lingered, absorbing the panorama, feeling connected yet apart, a witness to the grandeur and the grit that coexisted in this ancient world. As dusk approached, the traveler descended into the vibrant heart of Rome once more, the streets now aglow with the flickering light of oil lamps. The city, ever restless, continued its dance into the night, the air filled with the sound of music and the scent of roasting meats. The traveler followed the aroma to a taberna, a bustling tavern where patrons gathered over platters of olives, honeyed figs, and wine. The traveler joined them, savoring the flavors that spoke of sun-drenched fields and ancient vines, each bite a connection to the land and its people. As the night deepened, the traveler felt a sense of peace, of belonging that transcended the centuries. Here, in the heart of ancient Rome, they had found not just survival, but a deeper understanding of what it meant to live fully, to embrace the chaos and the beauty, the past and the present entwined. The traveler rose, their spirit alight with the knowledge that they were part of something timeless, a thread in the vast tapestry of history. With the promise of a new day on the horizon, the traveler stepped into the cool embrace of the night. The city, a lullaby that whispered secrets of old, and the stars above a guiding light for the journey yet to come. As they walked, the stones beneath their feet seemed to hum with the stories of those who had walked before, each step a testament to the endurance of the human spirit, to the challenges faced and overcome, to the life lived in the shadow of greatness. And so, the traveler moved forward, ready to face whatever the ancient world might unveil next. As dawn's first light began to stretch its golden fingers across the horizon, the traveler found themselves wandering through the narrow, winding streets of Rome, the city slowly stirring from its slumber. The air was crisp, carrying with it the scent of dew-kissed stone and the distant fragrance of freshly baked bread from the market stalls that were beginning to open. A gentle breeze whispered through the alleyways, rustling the fabric of togas and tunics, and bringing with it a symphony of sounds. The clatter of hooves on cobblestone, the murmured conversations of early risers, and the distant call of a street vendor hawking his goods. The traveler marveled at the intricate dance of life unfolding around them, each moment a vivid tapestry woven with threads of history and humanity. Here, the past was not a forgotten relic, but a living, breathing entity, its presence felt in every corner of the city. As they walked, the traveler pondered the enormity of the task that lay ahead, surviving a day in this ancient world, a world where the concept of hygiene was vastly different from the modern age they hailed from. Their journey led them to the heart of the city, where the magnificent Roman Forum stood as a testament to the empire's grandeur and its enduring legacy. The traveler paused, taking in the sight of marble columns that reached skyward, the ruins of temples and basilicas bathed in the soft glow of morning light. Here, amid the echoes of history, they would begin their quest to navigate the intricacies of Roman life, to understand the customs and practices that defined an empire. The traveler knew that hygiene was a cornerstone of daily life in Rome, a necessity rather than a luxury. The Romans, with their advanced engineering and innovative spirit, had devised a complex system of aqueducts and sewers to supply the city with fresh water and to carry away waste. Yet, despite these advancements, the traveler realized that personal hygiene was a far more intimate affair, one that required a delicate balance between practicality and ritual. As the sun climbed higher, casting warm hues across the city, the traveler made their way to the public baths, a hub of social activity and a cornerstone of Roman hygiene. The baths of Caracalla loomed before them, an architectural marvel of soaring arches and sprawling courtyards. They could hear the lively chatter of bathers, the splash of water echoing through the grand halls. Entering the baths was like stepping into another world, a sanctuary where the cares of the day could be washed away, where the body could be cleansed and the spirit rejuvenated. The traveler joined the throng, shedding their garments and stepping into the calidarium, the hot room. The air was thick with steam, the heat enveloping them like a comforting embrace. Here, they could feel the tension of their journey begin to melt away, the worries of survival momentarily forgotten. The traveler marveled at the ingenuity of the hypocaust system that heated the floors and walls, a testament to Roman engineering prowess. From the calidarium, they moved to the tepidarium, the warm room, where the temperature was more moderate, the perfect transition between the extremes of hot and cold. Here, the traveler indulged in the ritual of oiling the skin, using a strigil to scrape away the dirt and sweat of the previous day. It was a sensory experience, the oil gliding smoothly across their skin, the strigil's cool metal leaving behind a sensation of renewed vitality. Finally, they entered the frigidarium, the cold plunge pool, its waters a shock to the system and a revitalizing end to the bathing process. The traveler gasped as they submerged, the chill awakening their senses, sharpening their awareness of the world around them. Emerging from the pool, they felt invigorated, cleansed not just of the grime that clung to their skin, but of the doubts that had lingered in their mind. Dressing once more, the traveler stepped back into the bustling streets, their senses heightened, their spirit buoyed by the knowledge that they had conquered a fundamental aspect of Roman life. The city unfolded before them, a vibrant tapestry of color and sound, each moment rich with possibility. As they wandered, the traveler found themselves drawn to the bustling marketplace, a vibrant hub of commerce and community. Here, merchants shouted their wares, the air thick with the scent of spices and the earthy aroma of fresh produce. The traveler marveled at the diversity of goods on display, from exotic fruits and vegetables to intricately woven textiles and gleaming metalwork. Each stall was a window into the world beyond Rome, a reminder of the empire's reach and influence. The traveler sampled the offerings, savoring the tang of olives, the sweetness of figs, the salty richness of freshly baked bread. Each bite was a revelation, a testament to the skill and artistry of Roman cuisine. They watched as people bartered and haggled, the exchange of goods a dance as old as time itself. As the day wore on, the traveler found themselves drawn to the heart of Rome, the Colosseum. Here, the grandeur of the empire was on full display, a monument to the might and power of Rome. The traveler stood in awe, imagining the roar of the crowd, the thrill of the games, the spectacle of gladiators locked in combat. It was a place of both beauty and brutality, a reminder of the duality that lay at the heart of Roman life. As the shadows lengthened and the sun dipped below the horizon, the traveler felt a sense of fulfillment, of having navigated the challenges of the day with grace and resilience. They had embraced the customs of an ancient world, had walked in the footsteps of those who had come before, had caught a glimpse of a life that was both foreign and familiar. As they made their way back to their lodgings, the city around them began to settle into the embrace of night. The stars above twinkled with a timeless light, a reminder of the continuity of history, of the enduring nature of the human spirit. The traveler paused, taking a moment to reflect on all they had experienced, on the lessons learned, on the connection forged across the ages. In that moment, they understood that survival was not just about adapting to a new environment, but about embracing the essence of life itself, about finding beauty in the unexpected, about cherishing the moments of joy and wonder that lay hidden in the everyday. With a heart full of gratitude and a spirit alight with possibility, the traveler turned their gaze to the horizon, ready to embrace whatever the future might hold. As the traveler made their way through the cobblestone streets of ancient Rome, the city began to whisper its secrets to the night. The air was thick with the scent of olive oil and baked bread, mingling with the remnants of incense that wafted from the temples. The murmurs of the day faded into a gentle hum, a lullaby sung by a city that never truly slept. The sky was a velvet tapestry, studded with stars that seemed to wink knowingly at the traveler. Each constellation was a silent guardian, watching over this eternal city and its transient inhabitants. The traveler felt a strange kinship with those distant stars, as if they shared a common thread with the ancients who once gazed upon them with the same sense of wonder. As they wandered, the traveler found themselves drawn to the Tiber River, its waters glistening under the moon's silvery light. The river was a lifeline, a source of sustenance and commerce, but also a reminder of the challenges of hygiene in this ancient world. They marveled at the aqueducts, those engineering marvels that brought fresh water into the heart of the city, a testament to human ingenuity and perseverance. The traveler thought back to their own time, where hygiene was a matter of convenience, often taken for granted. Here, it was an art, a ritual, a balancing act between nature and necessity. Public baths were a cornerstone of Roman life, not just places of cleanliness, but of social interaction and leisure. The thermae were bustling centers where citizens gathered to cleanse both body and spirit, sharing news and gossip as they soaked in the communal warmth. The traveler recalled their visit to the baths of Caracalla, an imposing complex that had once echoed with laughter and conversation. They had marveled at the intricate mosaics, the grand arches, and the sheer scale of the endeavor. Yet, beneath its splendor lay the practicalities of maintaining such a place, the constant need for fresh water, the meticulous care required to keep the heating systems functioning. As they walked, the traveler's mind wandered to the concept of cleanliness itself, how it transcended the physical and seeped into the realm of the spiritual. In Rome, cleanliness was a reflection of order, of discipline, a sign of respect for oneself and society. It was a challenge, yes, but one that the Romans had embraced with characteristic tenacity. The traveler's thoughts were interrupted by a sudden rustling, a sound that seemed out of place in the stillness of the night. Their heart quickened, a thrill of suspense coursing through their veins. They turned slowly, eyes scanning the shadows for the source of the disturbance. A figure emerged, cloaked in darkness, moving with the stealth of a stray cat. "Salve," the stranger greeted, their voice a soft, melodic whisper that danced on the night air. The traveler's initial apprehension melted away, replaced by curiosity. The stranger's eyes shone with an enigmatic light, reflecting the wisdom of someone who had seen much and shared little. "Do you seek something?" the stranger asked, their tone as gentle as the breeze that rustled the leaves overhead. The traveler hesitated, unsure of how to articulate the multitude of thoughts swirling within them. What were they seeking? Understanding? Connection? Perhaps a glimpse of a life that felt both distant and intimately familiar. I seek to understand, the traveler finally replied, choosing honesty over pretense. The stranger nodded, as if this was the answer they had expected all along. Then walk with me, the stranger offered, extending a hand. The traveler took it, feeling the warmth of human connection, the comfort of shared purpose. Together, they continued along the riverbank, the city unfolding before them like a living tapestry. As they walked, the stranger spoke of Rome's resilience, of its ability to endure through the ages. They spoke of the city's layers, of the stories woven into its very fabric, stories of triumph and tragedy, of love and loss. The traveler listened, enraptured by the cadence of the stranger's voice, by the way they painted pictures with words, vivid and alive. Survival in Rome, the stranger mused, is more than a matter of hygiene. It is a dance with time, a negotiation with the elements, a celebration of life's impermanence. To live here is to embrace the chaos, to find order in the unexpected. The traveler nodded, understanding beginning to dawn. The hygiene challenge was but a metaphor for the larger challenge of existence, of finding balance in a world that was constantly shifting. They realized that survival in ancient Rome was not just a question of how one lived, but why one chose to live, of what made life meaningful amidst the uncertainty. Their journey took them to the Forum, now silent under the watchful gaze of the stars. The traveler imagined the bustling marketplace, the lively debates, the clamor of voices raised in argument or agreement. In the quietude of the night, the Forum felt like a sacred space, a reminder of the pulse of life that had once thrummed through its heart. As they stood there, the stranger turned to the traveler, their eyes reflecting the wisdom of ages. Remember, they said softly, that survival is not just about enduring, but about thriving. It is about finding light in the darkness, about crafting beauty from chaos. It is about the courage to dream, to hope, to believe. The traveler felt a profound sense of gratitude, a deep appreciation for the journey they had undertaken, for the lessons learned and the experiences shared. They had begun this journey seeking survival, but had found something far more precious, a connection to the past, a bridge to the future, a reminder of what it meant to truly live. As the first light of dawn began to paint the horizon with hues of gold and rose, the traveler and the stranger parted ways, each carrying with them the stories of a city that had stood the test of time. The traveler knew that they would carry these memories with them, a talisman against the uncertainties of the future. With a heart full of hope and a spirit unburdened by fear, the traveler turned once more to the horizon, ready to face whatever lay ahead. They knew that they could survive a day in ancient Rome, but more importantly, they had discovered the art of surviving a lifetime, one precious moment at a time. As the travelers set forth into the awakening streets of Rome, the city stretched and yawned under the tender embrace of morning light. The cobblestones, still cool from the night, began to warm under the gentle caress of the sun, releasing the earthy scent of a city that lived and breathed with vibrant tenacity. The traveler had learned to navigate the crowded streets with a newfound grace, their senses attuned to the rhythm of Rome. The alleys, once daunting, now felt like familiar pathways leading to untold adventures. Each step was a dance, a harmonious movement with the flow of life around them. They marveled at how the city thrummed with energy, a pulsating heart that beat in time with the footsteps of its people. As they wandered, the traveler found themselves drawn to the bustling heart of the marketplace, a swirling kaleidoscope of colors and sounds. Here, the air was thick with the scent of ripe fruits and freshly baked bread, mingling with the sharp tang of spices that tickled the nostrils and teased the palate. Vendors called out their wares in a symphony of voices, each note a promise of the delights to be discovered. Amongst the throng, the traveler spotted a merchant with a cart laden with oils and unguents, each vial a miniature world of fragrant possibility. Intrigued, they approached, their curiosity piqued by the array of scents that danced in the air like an invisible orchestra. The merchant, a wizened woman with eyes as bright as polished bronze, welcomed the traveler with a smile that crinkled the corners of her eyes. She spoke of the oil's origins, of lands far and wide, each with its own tale to tell. As the traveler inhaled the rich aroma of lavender and rose, they felt a sense of calm wash over them, a soothing balm for the spirit. These oils, the merchant explained, are not merely for scent, but for the soul. They cleanse, they heal, they rejuvenate. In a world where the body endures much, the spirit must be tended with care. The traveler nodded, understanding that cleanliness in ancient Rome was not just a matter of physical hygiene, but of nurturing the spirit. It was an art form, a ritual that connected them to the essence of life itself. With a small vial of rosemary oil in hand, they thanked the merchant and continued on their way, their senses enlivened by the fragrant reminder of nature's bounty. As the sun climbed higher, the traveler made their way toward the baths, a sanctuary of serenity amidst the bustling city. The grand architecture loomed ahead, its marble columns gleaming in the sunlight, a testament to the ingenuity and artistry of Roman engineering. The air was filled with the sound of cascading water, a tranquil melody that beckoned the weary to find solace within. Inside, the traveler was enveloped by a warm mist, a gentle embrace that soothed the skin and eased the mind. They watched as patrons moved through the various rooms, each space designed for a specific purpose. The frigidarium, with its cool waters to invigorate, the tepidarium, a gentle warmth to soothe, and finally, the caldarium, where steam rose like ethereal spirits, cleansing the body and soul. In this sacred space, the traveler felt a profound sense of peace. The worries of the world seemed to melt away, replaced by a deep connection to the elements. Here, amidst the gentle murmur of water and the soft sounds of conversation, they found a moment of true respite from the challenges of the day. Emerging from the baths, their skin aglow and spirit refreshed, the traveler stepped back into the world with renewed vigor. The day stretched before them, a canvas waiting to be painted with the colors of experience and discovery. As the afternoon sun cast long shadows across the city, the traveler found themselves drawn to the Forum, the beating heart of political life in Rome. Here, amidst the stately columns and bustling crowds, ideas were exchanged like precious currency, each word a spark that could ignite change. The traveler observed with keen interest as orators took the stage, their voices rising and falling in a symphony of rhetoric. Each argument was a dance of words, a carefully crafted performance designed to sway hearts and minds. The traveler marveled at the power of language, at the way it could shape the world and forge connections between people. Listening to the impassioned debates, the traveler felt a thrill of excitement, a reminder that survival in any era required more than just physical strength. It demanded the courage to speak, to listen, and to engage with the world around them. As twilight descended, casting the city in a golden glow, the traveler found themselves at the edge of a bustling tavern, its doors open wide to welcome the evening's patrons. The air was thick with laughter and the clinking of cups, a symphony of camaraderie that drew the traveler in. Inside, the traveler was greeted by the warmth of a crackling fire and the heady aroma of spiced wine. They found a seat at a long wooden table, joining a group of strangers who welcomed them with open arms. Stories flowed like wine, each tale a thread in the rich tapestry of human experience. The traveler listened with rapt attention, their hearts swelling with the joy of shared stories and laughter. Here, amidst the flickering candlelight and the shared warmth of companionship, they felt the true essence of survival, the connections forged with others, the moments of joy and understanding that transcended time and place. As the night deepened and the stars began to twinkle like distant beacons in the sky, the traveler knew that they had found a home in this ancient city. It was a place where the past and present intertwined, where the challenges of survival were met with the resilience of the human spirit. With a heart full of gratitude and a spirit unburdened by fear, the traveler rose to leave, their journey through the day complete. They knew that they would carry these memories with them, a talisman against the uncertainties of the future. As they stepped into the cool embrace of the night, the traveler cast one last glance at the city, a place that had taught them not just how to survive, but how to live. With a quiet resolve, they turned to the horizon, ready to face whatever lay ahead, knowing that they carried within them the stories and lessons of ancient Rome, a bridge to the future and a reminder of what it meant to truly be alive. The night air in ancient Rome was a tapestry woven with the whispers of 1,000 stories. As the traveler walked through the cobbled streets, the resonance of their footsteps seemed to echo the beating heart of the city itself. The sounds of the bustling day had faded into a gentle hum, and the city was now enveloped in a serene cloak of twilight, punctuated by the occasional bark of a distant dog, or the soft murmur of a late-night conversation drifting from a nearby taberna. The traveler's senses were heightened in the cool embrace of the Roman night. The air was tinged with the scent of pine from the surrounding hills, mingling with the earthy aroma of the city's brick and stone. A soft breeze caressed their skin, carrying with it the saltiness of the distant sea, a reminder of the vast world beyond Rome's walls. With each step, the traveler felt more connected to this ancient land where the past was a living presence. The shadows of the buildings stretched long and slender across the ground, creating a dance of light and dark that seemed to tell stories of their own. It was a city of contrasts, where the opulence of marble temples stood beside humble clay dwellings, and the echoes of history were ever present in the quiet rustle of the leaves in the forum. As they wandered, the travelers' thoughts turned to the people they had met throughout the day. The stoic expressions of the Roman citizens, the vibrant chatter of the market vendors, and the whispered confidences of the women at the baths. All these encounters had woven a rich tapestry of human experience. Each interaction had been a lesson in resilience, creativity, and the simple joys of living. The traveler recalled the warmth of the hearth in the modest domus, where they had shared a meal with newfound friends. The laughter and camaraderie around the table had been a balm to their weary soul, a reminder that even in an ancient world, the bonds of friendship and community transcended the passage of time. The simple meal, seasoned with herbs from a garden no bigger than a courtyard, had tasted more sumptuous than any feast from their own era. As the traveler continued through the night, they passed by the looming silhouette of the Colosseum, its arches standing proud against the starlit sky. The arena was silent now, its sand stained with the memory of countless spectacles and the roar of the crowd. It was a place that embodied both the glory and the brutality of Rome, a testament to the complexity of human nature. A sense of awe washed over the traveler as they considered the vastness of the empire that had once stretched to the edges of the known world. It was a place of great achievements and profound contradictions, where culture and conquest walked hand in hand. Yet, even amidst the grandeur, the traveler felt a kinship with the everyday people who had lived and loved, struggled and triumphed beneath these same stars. Their journey took them past the Temple of Vesta, where the eternal flame flickered gently, tended by the vigilant Vestal virgins. The air here was imbued with a sacred quality, a testament to the spiritual heart of the city. The traveler paused to offer a silent prayer, not to any particular deity, but in gratitude for the experiences of the day and the wisdom they had gained. As they moved on, the traveler's path led them to the banks of the Tiber River, its waters glistening under the moonlight like liquid silver. The gentle lapping of the river against its banks was a soothing counterpoint to the bustling energy of the city. It was a place of reflection where the traveler could pause and consider the lessons of the day. The Hygiene challenge, which had seemed daunting at the outset, had become a journey of discovery. The public baths, with their intricate system of hippocausts, had been an unexpected delight, a testament to the ingenuity of Roman engineering. The traveler had marveled at the way the ancient city had managed to balance cleanliness and communal living, turning a necessity into a social ritual. Yet it was not just the physical cleanliness that had impressed the traveler, but the deeper understanding of what it meant to care for oneself and others in a world so different from their own. The rituals of the baths had been a metaphor for the cleansing of the spirit, the shedding of fears and doubts in the warm embrace of the caldarium. It was a reminder that survival was not just about enduring the challenges of the day, but about nurturing the soul. As the travelers stood by the river, they felt a profound sense of connection to the countless generations that had come before them. The lessons of ancient Rome were not just historical curiosities, but timeless truths about the human condition. The resilience of the people, their capacity for joy and innovation, and their ability to find beauty in the everyday had left an indelible mark on the traveler's heart. With a sigh of contentment, the traveler turned away from the river, their spirit buoyed by the knowledge that they had not only survived a day in ancient Rome, but had truly lived it. The city had become a part of them, a living memory that would accompany them on their journey into the future. As they walked back through the quiet streets, the traveler felt a sense of anticipation for the adventures that lay ahead. They knew that life would continue to present its challenges and uncertainties, but armed with the lessons of the past, they felt ready to face whatever came their way. In the gentle embrace of the Roman night, the traveler felt at peace. The city had shared its secrets, and in return, the traveler had given a piece of their heart to Rome. It was a place that would forever be a part of them, a reminder of the resilience of the human spirit and the timeless beauty of life. And so, with the stars as their guide, the traveler continued into the night, their heart full of gratitude and their mind alive with the stories of ancient Rome, a bridge to the future and a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit. The Roman night wrapped itself around the traveler like a velvet cloak, a gentle breeze carrying whispers from antiquity, stories etched into the stone and echoed in the rustle of olive leaves. Each step through the cobbled streets was a rhythm, a heartbeat that thrummed with history, a connection to a time that was both distant and immediate. The warmth of the day had seeped into the stones, and now, in the cool of the night, they exhaled that warmth back into the air, creating a cocoon of comfort around the traveler. With every footfall, the traveler felt the city's pulse, a city that never truly slept, but instead hummed softly through the night. The distant clamor of a tavern, laughter spilling into the streets, mingled with the occasional bray of a donkey or the soft chatter of neighbors lingering on doorsteps. In this nocturnal symphony, the traveler found a soothing melody, a lullaby sung by the city itself. As they wandered, the traveler's thoughts turned to the day's adventures, the trials and triumphs of surviving in ancient Rome. It had been a day of discovery, a challenge not just of the body, but of the mind. The intricacies of Roman hygiene had been both a mystery and a revelation. In a time when the comforts of modern life were absent, the Romans' creativity and ingenuity had shone through, proving that necessity truly was the mother of invention. The traveler recalled the bustling markets, the vibrant tapestry of sights and sounds that had greeted them at every corner. Vendors hawking wares, their voices a chorus rising above the crowd, their eyes keen and knowing, the rich aroma of spices blending with the earthy scent of fresh produce, the tang of olives, the sweetness of figs. Each stall a universe of its own, a microcosm of Roman life, where trade and barter were as much about human connection as they were about goods. In the heat of the day, the traveler had sought refuge in the baths, those great social hubs of Roman society. There, in the steamy embrace of the caldarium, they had marveled at the engineering prowess of the Romans, at how they had harnessed the elements to create spaces of cleansing and rejuvenation. The baths had been a world unto themselves, a place where the boundaries of class and status blurred, where everyone, from slave to senator, shed their robes and their burdens alike. Yet, beneath the surface of this seemingly idyllic scene, a thread of suspense had woven itself, a reminder of the ever-present challenges of the past. The traveler recalled the cautious glances exchanged, the quiet conversations that spoke of politics and power, of alliances and enmities. In a world where the favor of fortune could shift as swiftly as the wind, every encounter carried an undercurrent of intrigue. As the traveler meandered through the quieting streets, they found themselves drawn towards the river, the Tiber a silver ribbon under the moonlight. The water whispered secrets as it flowed, stories of emperors and empires, of triumphs and tragedies. Standing on the banks, the traveler felt the weight of history, a tangible presence in the cool night air. They imagined the countless souls who had stood in this very spot, who had gazed upon the same stars and dreamed their own dreams. In the distance, the silhouette of the Pantheon rose against the sky, its grand dome a testament to human ambition and creativity. The traveler's heart swelled with a sense of connection, not just to the city, but to the people who had shaped it, who had walked these streets and left their mark on the world. They felt the resonance of their own journey, a continuum of the human experience that transcended time and place. As the night deepened, the traveler made their way to a small inn tucked away in a quiet corner of the city. The innkeeper greeted them with a nod and a warm smile, a silent acknowledgment of the shared humanity that bound them all. In the dim light of the common room, the traveler found a seat by the hearth, the flickering flames casting dancing shadows on the walls. Here, in this intimate space, the traveler allowed themselves to unwind, to let the experiences of the day settle like dust on a sunbeam. The gentle murmur of conversation filled the room, a soothing backdrop to their thoughts. Around them, fellow travelers and locals alike shared stories, their voices weaving a tapestry of connection and camaraderie. As the night wore on, the traveler felt the weight of fatigue settle upon them, a reminder of the day's adventures. Yet, within that weariness, there was a sense of fulfillment, a quiet joy in having embraced the challenge and emerged enriched by it. The traveler knew that the journey was far from over, that there would be more days and more challenges to come. But for now, in the embrace of the Roman night, they allowed themselves to simply be, to savor the beauty of the moment. And so, as the last embers of the fire faded to ash, and the first light of dawn began to brush the sky with hues of gold and rose, the traveler closed their eyes. In the stillness of the early morning, they dreamt of ancient Rome, of a day that had tested and taught them, a day that had connected them to a world both foreign and familiar. In their dreams, the city continued to whisper its stories, tales of gods and gladiators, of philosophers and poets, of the indomitable spirit of a people who had shaped the course of history. And in those dreams, the traveler found solace and strength, a reminder that they too were part of this grand tapestry, a thread woven into the rich fabric of time. As the sun rose over the eternal city, casting its golden light upon the traveler's face, they awoke with a sense of renewal. The day stretched before them, a blank canvas awaiting the brushstrokes of experience and adventure, and with a heart full of gratitude and a spirit ready to embrace whatever lay ahead, the traveler stepped once more into the embrace of ancient Rome, ready to face the challenges of a new day. The traveler opened their eyes to find the sun casting its first gentle rays across the cobblestone streets, painting them in hues of amber and gold. The city of Rome, ancient and ageless, was awakening with a slow, deliberate grace. The air was crisp, carrying with it the scent of dew-kissed laurel and the distant hum of the Tiber flowing lazily through the heart of this storied land. As the traveler rose from their humble resting place, they felt the weight of history pressing in around them, not as a burden, but as a comforting embrace. The stones beneath their feet had borne witness to centuries of lives lived and lost, of empires rising and falling, and now they too were part of this eternal narrative. With a deep breath, the traveler set off through the winding streets, eager to immerse themselves further into the rhythms of ancient Rome. The city was a mosaic of sounds and sights, each corner offering a new discovery, a new story waiting to be told. The morning light danced upon the marble facades of grand temples and humble dwellings alike, casting them in a serene glow that belied the bustling life within. As they wandered, the travelers' senses were filled with the vibrancy of the city. The air was alive with the chatter of merchants setting up their stalls in the bustling forum, their voices mingling with the distant clang of blacksmiths hammering away in their forges. The aroma of freshly baked bread wafted through the air, mingling with the pungent scent of spices and the sweet perfume of blooming flowers. The traveler found themselves drawn to the baths of Caracalla, a monumental complex that stood as a testament to Roman engineering and opulence. The baths were a sanctuary of sorts, a place where the people of Rome came to cleanse not just their bodies, but their minds and souls as well. Here, amidst the grand columns and intricate mosaics, the traveler could feel the pulse of the city, steady and unyielding. As they stepped inside, the traveler was enveloped in a warmth that seemed to seep into their very bones. The sound of water flowing and echoing through the vast halls was soothing, a gentle lullaby that calmed the spirit. The traveler marveled at the sheer scale of the baths, at the ingenuity that had brought hot water to these grand pools, a feat that seemed almost magical in its execution. The traveler joined the throngs of Romans who had come to partake in the ritual of bathing. They moved from the frigidarium, with its refreshing chill, to the tepidarium, where the water was warm and inviting, before finally entering the caldarium, where steam rose in languid spirals, enveloping the room in a dense, fragrant fog. Here, amidst the heat and steam, the traveler felt their cares melt away, the worries of the modern world slipping from their shoulders like droplets of water. In this space, the traveler was not alone. They were joined by citizens from all walks of life, from senators discussing matters of state to soldiers recounting tales of battles fought and won, to merchants haggling over the price of goods. The baths were a great equalizer, a place where the barriers of class and station seemed to dissolve, if only for a moment, in the healing embrace of water. As the travelers soaked in the caldarium, they felt a sense of camaraderie with those around them, a shared understanding of the simple pleasures that life could offer. They listened to the conversation swirling around them, each voice a thread in the rich tapestry of Roman life. They heard tales of intrigue and adventure, of love lost and found, of dreams pursued and abandoned. Emerging from the baths, their skin tingling with the invigorating chill of the fresh air, the traveler felt renewed, as if they had been reborn into this ancient world. The sun had climbed higher in the sky, casting a warm golden light over the city, and the traveler felt a renewed sense of purpose, a desire to delve deeper into the mysteries of Rome. Their wanderings led them to the bustling streets of the Subura, a district known for its vibrant, if somewhat chaotic, energy. Here, the traveler was swept up in the throng of people, a tide of humanity that carried them along in its current. The streets were alive with the sights and sounds of daily life, a cacophony of voices and laughter, of children playing and vendors hawking their wares. The travelers' senses were overwhelmed by the sheer vitality of the scene before them. They marveled at the colorful stalls lining the streets, each one a treasure trove of exotic goods and delicacies. The air was thick with the scent of roasting meats and fresh fruits, of spices and incense, each aroma a tantalizing promise of pleasure. As they wandered through the market, the traveler was struck by the diversity of the people around them. Rome was a city of contrasts. a melting pot of cultures and traditions, and the traveler found themselves captivated by the rich tapestry of humanity that unfolded before their eyes. They watched as a group of women, their arms laden with baskets, bartered with a merchant over the price of olives, their voices rising and falling in a melodic dance of negotiation. Further along, the traveler paused to watch a troupe of street performers, their acrobatics drawing gasps of delight from the gathered crowd. The performers moved with a grace and fluidity that seemed almost otherworldly, their bodies bending and twisting in defiance of the laws of nature. The traveler found themselves entranced by the spectacle, their hearts soaring with each daring leap and tumble. As the day wore on, the traveler felt themselves drawn to the grandeur of the Colosseum, that iconic symbol of Rome's might and majesty. The massive amphitheater loomed before them, its ancient stones steeped in the blood and sweat of countless gladiators who had fought and died within its walls. The traveler could feel the weight of history in the air, a palpable presence that sent a shiver down their spine. Inside the Colosseum, the traveler was met with a scene of organized chaos, the roar of the crowd echoing through the vast arena. They watched, transfixed, as the gladiators took to the sand, their bodies glistening with sweat and determination. The clash of swords and the roar of the crowd created a symphony of sound, a testament to the enduring allure of spectacle and competition. In that moment, the traveler felt a connection to the past, to the gladiators who had once stood where they now stood, their hearts pounding with fear and adrenaline. They could almost hear the ghosts of those ancient warriors, their voices rising in a chorus of defiance and courage, a reminder of the indomitable spirit that had defined Rome. As the sun began its descent, casting long shadows across the city, the traveler made their way to the banks of the Tiber, seeking solace in the gentle lapping of the water against the shore. They sat for a moment, watching as the river flowed steadily onward, a timeless witness to the ebb and flow of history. In that quiet moment, the traveler reflected on the day's journey, on the challenges and discoveries that had shaped their experience. They felt a sense of gratitude for the opportunity to step into this ancient world, to walk in the footsteps of those who had come before. And as the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, the traveler knew that they would carry the lessons of Rome with them, a cherished memory woven into the fabric of their own story. With a heart full of wonder and a spirit renewed, the traveler rose and began the journey back to their own time, carrying with them the whispers of history, the echoes of an ancient world that had become, if only for a day, their own. As the traveler rose from the riverbank, the cool evening breeze carried with it the scents of the city, wood smoke mingling with the earthy aroma of fresh produce from the nearby market stalls, now being packed away for the night. The gentle murmur of voices drifted through the air, a peaceful lullaby, sung by the heart of the city as it wound down from its bustling crescendo. Each step away from the Tiber felt like a step back into the tapestry of time, where each thread was imbued with stories of lives lived, loves lost and found, and moments frozen in the annals of history. The streets of Rome, though now less crowded, still hummed with life. Lanterns flickered like fireflies in the gathering dusk, their warm glow casting an ethereal light on the ancient cobblestones. The traveler's sandals made a soft, rhythmic sound against the stones, a comforting cadence that matched the steady beating of their heart. They walked with quiet purpose, each footfall a gentle assurance that their journey through this world was far from over. As they wandered, they passed by the grand structures that had loomed over them during the day, now softened by the shadows of night. The Colosseum stood as a majestic silhouette against the twilight sky, its ancient arches whispering tales of gladiators and emperors, of triumphs and tragedies. Nearby, the Forum lay in hushed reverence, its columns and ruins bathed in the silvery light of a full moon rising slowly above the city. The traveler paused, taking in the sight, feeling the weight of history settle comfortably on their shoulders like a well-worn cloak. Continuing their journey, the traveler's path led them to a narrow alleyway, a hidden artery of the city where the world seemed to shrink into a more intimate space. Here, the air was filled with the soft notes of a lute played by a street musician, the melody weaving a tender tapestry of sound that wrapped itself around the listener like a gentle embrace. The music was a balm, soothing the traveler's soul as they moved forward, drawn by the promise of discovery that lay around each corner. As they emerged from the alley, the traveler found themselves in a small piazza, where a modest fountain burbled quietly at its center. The water, clear and cool, glistened in the moonlight, reflecting the stars above as if capturing tiny fragments of the heavens within its depths. The traveler knelt beside the fountain, cupping their hands to take a sip, the liquid a refreshing tonic that washed away the dust and weariness of the day. It was a simple act, yet it felt sacred, a communion with the ancient city that had opened its arms to them. The piazza was a place where locals gathered, drawn by the sense of community and camaraderie that seemed to linger in the air. Families strolled by, their laughter a harmonious counterpoint to the gentle splash of the fountain. Artisans packed up their wares, exchanging stories of the day's barter and trade, their voices rich with the warmth of shared experience. The traveler watched, a silent observer, feeling a connection to these people who lived so vividly in their own time. In the gentle chaos of the evening, a figure approached the traveler, an old man with eyes that sparkled with the wisdom of years. He extended a hand in greeting, his voice a soft rumble like distant thunder. "You have the look of one who seeks," he said, his words carrying a weight that belied their simplicity. The traveler nodded, intrigued by the man's presence and the promise of insight that seemed to hover around him like a halo. "I seek to understand," they replied, their voice barely a whisper against the night. The old man chuckled, a warm, inviting sound. "Then you have come to the right place, my friend. Rome is a city of seekers, of those who yearn to know and to be known. What is it that you wish to learn?" The question hung in the air, a delicate thread waiting to be woven into the larger tapestry of the traveler's journey. They pondered for a moment, considering the experiences of the day, the sights, the sounds, the scents that had painted their adventure with vibrant hues. "I wish to know the heart of this city, to understand what it means to live in this ancient world." The old man nodded, his gaze thoughtful as he regarded the traveler. "To know Rome, you must embrace its contradictions," he said. "It is a city of grandeur and humility, of opulence and simplicity. It thrives on the tension between past and present, on the dance between the mundane and the divine." His words resonated deeply, stirring a profound recognition within the traveler's heart. They saw the truth in what he said, the way Rome existed as a living paradox, a place where the past was ever present, and the present was a fleeting echo of what had come before. As they talked, the piazza around them began to quiet, the day giving way to night in a gentle transition. The traveler felt a sense of peace, a calm that settled over them like a soft blanket, soothing away the lingering tension of the day. They realized that this moment, this exchange, was a gift, an opportunity to connect with the spirit of Rome, to glimpse the soul of a city that had withstood the ravages of time. The old man smiled, as if sensing the traveler's newfound understanding. "Remember this night," he said, his voice like a benediction. "For it is in these quiet moments that we find the answers we seek, that we touch the eternal woven within the fabric of the everyday." The traveler nodded, gratitude swelling within them like a tide. They knew that they would carry this encounter with them, a cherished memory that would illuminate their path long after they had left this ancient world behind. As the old man turned to leave, the traveler felt a sudden impulse, a desire to capture this moment in words, to preserve it as a testament to their journey. They reached for a piece of parchment, their fingers moving with an urgency born of inspiration as they began to write. "In the heart of Rome, beneath a sky adorned with stars, I found a soul who spoke of wisdom wrapped in time. In his words, I glimpsed the dance of life, the delicate balance of light and shadow, of yesterday and tomorrow. And in that moment, I knew that I was not alone, that I had been touched by the grace of a city that whispered its secrets to those who dared to listen." As they finished writing, the traveler looked up, the old man now a shadow, disappearing into the night. Yet his presence lingered, a gentle reminder of the wisdom they had shared. With a heart full of wonder and a spirit renewed, the traveler rose once more, ready to continue their journey through the streets of Rome, carrying with them the whispers of history, the echoes of an ancient world that had become, if only for a day, their own. The traveler stepped back onto the cobbled streets, their sandals whispering softly against the worn stones, each step a gentle caress against the memories of those who had walked here before. Rome, in its eternal grandeur, seemed to breathe around them, the air thick with the scent of rosemary and thyme, mingling with the distant earthy aroma of the Tiber as it wound its way through the city. The night was alive with the symphony of the city. Laughter echoed from distant taverns, a lullaby of voices rising and falling like the gentle rustle of leaves in a breeze. Somewhere, a lyre played a soft, haunting melody, its notes weaving through the air, wrapping the traveler in a comforting embrace of sound. With a sense of purpose, they made their way towards the Forum, the heart of ancient Rome, where the whispers of politics and philosophy intertwined with the mundane rhythms of daily life. As they approached, the grandeur of the architecture unfolded before them, the columns standing like silent sentinels under the moon's watchful gaze. The marble gleamed a ghostly white in the night, its surface cool and smooth to the touch, as if imbued with the wisdom of the ages. In the Forum, the air was different, charged with a vibrancy that seemed to pulse with the very essence of the empire itself. Traders still lingered, their voices a melodic hum as they bartered and bantered, their shadows elongated by the flickering torchlight. The traveler paused, taking in the scene, the tableau of life captured in a moment that felt both timeless and fleeting. Nearby, a group of scholars engaged in animated debate, their words punctuated by sweeping gestures and nods of passionate agreement. The traveler edged closer, drawn by the cadence of their discourse, the rise and fall of their voices like the ebb and flow of the tide. They spoke of philosophy, of the nature of the soul, and the traveler found themselves captivated, their mind dancing along the edges of new ideas, their spirit alight with curiosity. As the night deepened, the traveler continued their exploration, weaving through the streets with a quiet reverence for the city that had embraced them so wholly. Every corner turned revealed a new facet of Rome, a city that seemed to shift and shimmer like a mirage, constantly revealing and concealing its secrets. The traveler found themselves drawn to the public baths, the steam rising like a gentle mist in the cool night air, the scent of lavender and sandalwood wafting from within. The baths were a place of both cleansing and communion, where the citizens of Rome gathered to wash away the dust of the day and the cares that clung like shadows. Inside, the atmosphere was warm and welcoming, the air heavy with the sound of water cascading into pools, the soft murmur of conversations mingling with the occasional splash. The traveler joined the throng, stepping into the tepidarium, the heat enveloping them in a soothing embrace, their muscles relaxing as the warmth seeped into their bones. The water was silken against their skin, each ripple a gentle caress, and as they submerged themselves, they felt the burdens of the day slipping away, carried off by the currents. The baths were a sanctuary, a place where the soul could find respite, where the mind could wander freely, unburdened by the weight of the world. The traveler closed their eyes, listening to the symphony of the baths, the gentle murmur of voices, the rhythmic lapping of water against stone, the distant echo of laughter that danced through the chambers like a playful breeze. In this place of cleansing, they found a moment of stillness, a space where they could simply be, where the boundaries of the self dissolved into the warm embrace of the water. Emerging from the baths, the traveler felt renewed, their spirit buoyant as they stepped back into the night, the cool air a gentle kiss against their damp skin. The city welcomed them once more, its streets a labyrinth of possibilities, each turn a promise of adventure, each shadow a hint of mystery. As the traveler wandered, they found themselves drawn towards the Circus Maximus, the vast arena a silent sentinel beneath the stars. In the daylight, it was a place of spectacle, of chariot races and roaring crowds. But now, in the hush of night, it was a place of solitude, a vast expanse where the mind could roam as freely as the horses that raced across its sands. The traveler stood at the edge of the circus, gazing out over the empty stands, their imagination filling the silence with the roar of the crowd, the thundering hooves, the pulse of excitement that had once filled this place. It was a reminder of the city's dual nature, of the way it balanced the mundane with the magnificent, the everyday with the extraordinary. As the first light of dawn began to brush the horizon with its delicate hues of pink and gold, the traveler felt a sense of peace, a quiet contentment that wrapped around them like a warm cloak. They had walked the streets of Rome, touched its history, and in doing so had found a part of themselves they had not known was missing. With a final glance at the city that had so generously opened its heart to them, the traveler turned and began the journey back, their steps lighter, their spirit buoyant with the knowledge that they had not only survived a day in ancient Rome, but had thrived in its embrace. The city's whispers accompanied them as they made their way, the echoes of an ancient world that had become, for a brief moment, their own. And as they walked, they carried with them the stories of Rome, the tales of a city that lived and breathed, its heart beating in time with theirs, a melody of light and shadow that would linger long after the sun had risen. As the traveler retraced their steps through the waking city, the air was fresh with the promise of a new day, laced with the scent of baking bread and the tang of the Tiber. The cobblestones beneath their feet seemed softer now, as though the city itself was offering a gentle farewell. Each corner turned revealed more of Rome's layered soul, from the intimate whispers of alleyway markets to the grandiose proclamations of its forums and temples. The traveler's path led them back through the forum, where the statues of emperors and gods stood sentinel, steadfast against the march of time. The marble faces seemed to smile in the early light, their features softened, as if acknowledging the traveler's presence with a silent nod. The traveler paused, taking a moment to appreciate the grandeur of this ancient place, the very heart of Rome, where decisions that shaped the world were once made. The forum was slowly coming to life, vendors setting up their stalls, the chatter of early risers echoing off the columns. The traveler watched as a group of children, dressed in simple tunics, played a game of catch with a small leather ball, their laughter bright and infectious. Nearby, a merchant arranged his wares, baskets of olives, amphorae of oil, and bundles of herbs, their aromas mingling in the cool morning breeze. Continuing on, the traveler was drawn to the bustling baths, a cornerstone of Roman life. The baths of Caracalla loomed ahead, an immense complex of brick and marble that promised both relaxation and social interaction, a place where the city's heartbeat could be felt in the rhythm of water and voices. The traveler hesitated at the entrance, the massive arches welcoming yet imposing, as if daring them to enter and partake in this most Roman of rituals. Inside, the air was thick with steam, carrying with it the mingled scents of lavender and mint, used to cleanse both body and mind. The traveler marveled at the sheer scale of the baths, the vaulted ceiling soaring high above, decorated with mosaics that shimmered in the filtered light, the sounds of water lapping against marble, the low murmur of conversation, and the occasional splash created a symphony of serenity that enveloped the senses. The traveler moved from the tepidarium, where patrons reclined in warm waters, to the caldarium, its heat wrapping around them like a comforting embrace. Here, the traveler felt the tensions of the previous day melt away, replaced by a profound sense of ease. They closed their eyes, surrendering to the experience, allowing the warmth to seep into their bones, carrying away the dust and strain of their journey. Emerging from the baths, the traveler felt reborn, their skin tingling in the cool morning air, the world sharper and more vibrant. They followed a path through a garden where birds sang amongst the branches of olive and cypress trees, their melodies weaving through the leaves like threads in a tapestry. The traveler's journey led them next to the Circus Maximus, where the chariot races had already begun to draw a crowd. The roar of excitement was palpable, a living entity that surged through the stands like a wave. The traveler lingered at the edge, watching as the chariots thundered past, their wheels a blur, the drivers urging their horses on with cries and gestures that spoke of both mastery and desperation. The thrill of the race was infectious, a reminder of Rome's love for spectacle and the human spirit's indomitable will to compete and conquer. The traveler found themselves caught up in the fervor, cheering alongside the citizens, their voice joining the chorus of thousands in a moment of collective joy. As the race concluded, the traveler moved on, drawn now to the quieter streets, where artisans and craftsmen plied their trades. The air here was filled with the scent of sawdust and leather, the rhythmic clinking of hammers against anvils, the hum of industry that underpinned the grandeur of Rome. The traveler paused to watch a potter at work, his hands deftly shaping clay into forms both functional and beautiful, each piece a testament to skill honed over years. The day wore on, the sun climbing higher in the sky, casting long shadows across the streets. The traveler found themselves at the edge of the city, where the walls stood as silent guardians, marking the boundary between the known and the unknown. Beyond lay the countryside, a patchwork of fields and villas, the promise of peace and simplicity, in stark contrast to the vibrant complexities of the city. The traveler turned back, their heart full, their mind alight with the experiences of the day. They had walked the paths of emperors and commoners, touched the stones of history, and felt the pulse of an ancient world that, though distant, was ever present. The city had embraced them, shared its secrets, and in doing so, had transformed them. As the sun began its descent, painting the sky in hues of orange and red, the traveler made their way to a small tavern nestled in a quiet corner of the city. Inside, the warmth of the hearth and the scent of roasting meat welcomed them. The tavern was a haven, a place where stories were shared, laughter flowed as freely as the wine, and the bonds of friendship were forged. The traveler took a seat, their body weary but their spirit invigorated. They listened as the patrons exchanged tales of the day, their voices a comforting murmur. A musician played a lyre in the corner, the notes weaving through the air like a gentle breeze, carrying with them the echoes of distant lands and adventures yet to come. As the evening deepened, the traveler found themselves lost in conversation with a fellow wanderer, a kindred spirit who, like them, had been drawn to the magic of Rome. They spoke of the city's wonders, its challenges, and the unexpected beauty found in the most ordinary of moments. The tavern's light flickered softly, casting shadows that danced across the walls, and the traveler felt a profound sense of belonging, a connection to a time and place that was both familiar and foreign. They realized that they had not only survived a day in ancient Rome, but had been woven into its tapestry, their story becoming a part of its endless narrative. As the night wore on and the stars appeared, twinkling like diamonds against the velvet sky, the traveler stepped outside, the cool air a gentle caress. They took a deep breath, the city's essence filling their lungs, and began the walk back to their lodgings, their heart full of gratitude and wonder. The streets were quiet now, the city at rest, its dreams echoing through the silent corridors. The traveler felt a sense of peace, a quiet contentment that wrapped around them like a warm cloak. They had walked the streets of Rome, touched its history, and in doing so had found a part of themselves they had not known was missing. With a final glance at the city that had so generously opened its heart to them, the traveler turned and began the journey back. And as they walked, they carried with them the stories of Rome, the tales of a city that lived and breathed, its heart beating in time with theirs, a melody of light and shadow that would linger long after the sun had risen. As the traveler made their way through the narrow cobblestone streets, the ancient city of Rome whispered its secrets to the night. Shadows stretched and shifted under the silvery glow of the moon, casting mysterious patterns across the weathered stones. Each step echoed softly, a rhythmic cadence that seemed to harmonize with the gentle rustle of leaves in the breeze. The air was cool and crisp, a refreshing balm after the heat of the day, and it carried the faint aroma of olive groves and distant fires, mingling with the earthy scent of the Tiber River. The traveler paused for a moment, their eyes drawn to the remnants of a grand archway, its sculpted figures frozen in eternal triumph, standing sentinel over the quiet street. The moonlight played upon the worn marble, highlighting the intricate carvings and casting deep shadows that seemed to dance with the stories of long-forgotten victories. Here was a place where time folded in upon itself, where past and present intertwined, whispering of glory and ambition, of emperors and empires. Continuing on, the traveler found themselves at a crossroads where the shadows of the past met the possibilities of the present. A stray cat, sleek and shadowy, darted across their path, pausing to look back with luminous eyes before disappearing into an alleyway. The traveler smiled at the creature's silent grace, feeling a kinship with the night's other wanderers. The path led them to a small, secluded courtyard, a hidden oasis amidst the sprawling city. It was a place of tranquility, where time seemed to slow and the world's clamor faded into the background. The traveler sat on the edge of a stone fountain, its water a soft, murmuring lullaby, and closed their eyes, letting the night envelop them. They could feel the pulse of the city beneath their feet, a living tapestry woven from countless lives and stories. In the quiet of the night, the traveler's mind drifted, unfurling like a scroll. They imagined the bustling markets of the day, the vibrant colors and cacophony of voices, the scent of spices and fresh bread mingling in the air. They saw the faces of merchants and artisans, their eyes alight with dreams and determination, each one a thread in the rich tapestry of Rome. And they thought of the baths, the grand structures where citizens gathered to cleanse and converse, the steam rising in languid tendrils, carrying laughter and whispers to the heavens. The traveler wondered about the rituals of hygiene in this ancient world, where simplicity met sophistication in a delicate dance. They imagined the careful preparation of oils and perfumes, the deliberate movements of hands as they cleansed and anointed, transforming the mundane into a sacred rite. In a time where water was both precious and abundant, the traveler marveled at the ingenuity of the aqueducts, those marvels of engineering that brought life to the city. As their thoughts wove through these musings, the traveler felt a connection to those who had walked these streets before them, a shared humanity that transcended the centuries. They imagined the conversations that had taken place here, the laughter and debates, the hopes and fears that had been whispered into the night. And in that moment, they felt a part of something greater, a tapestry of lives that stretched across time, binding them to this ancient city. The sound of footsteps drew the traveler from their reverie, and they turned to see a figure approaching, silhouetted against the moonlit sky. It was an elderly man, his gait slow and purposeful, his eyes bright with wisdom and curiosity. He carried a small lamp, its flickering light casting a warm glow that illuminated his gentle features. "Good evening," the traveler greeted, their voice a soft echo in the stillness. The old man nodded, his eyes meeting theirs with a knowing smile. "A beautiful night for wandering," he replied, his voice a melodic blend of age and experience. The traveler nodded, feeling an unspoken understanding pass between them. "This city," they said, "it holds so many stories, so much life." The old man chuckled softly, the sound like the rustle of leaves. "Indeed, Rome is a city of many layers, a palimpsest of history. Each stone has a tale to tell, each shadow a secret to share." They spoke for a time, their words weaving a tapestry of memories and dreams. The old man shared tales of his youth, of days spent exploring the city's hidden corners, of nights spent gazing at the stars and pondering the mysteries of the universe. The traveler listened, their heart full of the richness of these stories, feeling the layers of time shift and settle around them. As the conversation ebbed and flowed, a gentle silence descended, the kind that speaks of understanding and connection. The traveler gazed at the stars, their light a reminder of the vastness of the cosmos, and felt a sense of peace, a quiet assurance that they were exactly where they were meant to be. The night deepened, the air growing cooler, and the traveler knew it was time to return to their lodgings. They stood, their heart filled with gratitude for the evening's gifts, for the stories shared and the connections forged. "Thank you," they said, their voice a whisper in the night. The old man nodded, his eyes twinkling with a light that seemed to echo the stars. "Safe travels, my friend. May your journey be filled with wonder." With a final nod, the traveler turned and made their way back through the quiet streets, the city's stories a gentle murmur in their mind. They walked with a sense of purpose, their steps light and sure, and as they approached their lodgings, they paused to look back at the city that had opened its heart to them. The moon hung low in the sky, casting a silvery glow over the rooftops, and the traveler felt a sense of belonging, a connection to this place that transcended time and distance. They carried within them the stories of Rome, the whispered secrets of its past, and they knew that these tales would accompany them wherever they went, a melody of light and shadow that would linger long after they had departed. As they stepped inside, the traveler took one last deep breath, filling their lungs with the essence of the city, and closed the door softly behind them. The night's silence embraced them, a gentle reminder of the beauty and mystery of this ancient world, and they drifted into sleep, their dreams woven with the stories of Rome. The morning sun rose slowly over the horizon, casting a golden hue across the city of Rome. The traveler awoke to the sound of distant chatter and the soft cooing of pigeons perched on the windowsill. The air was crisp, carrying with it the scent of dew-kissed stone and the faint aroma of baked bread from a nearby bakery. The city, still wrapped in the tendrils of dawn, seemed to breathe a sigh of waking life as its inhabitants began their daily rituals. The traveler stretched, feeling the gentle tug of muscles still weary from the previous day's adventures. As they dressed, they reflected on the profound sense of wonder that had enveloped them since their arrival. There was something intoxicating about Rome, its ancient stones whispering tales of emperors and gladiators, of bustling markets and quiet, hidden gardens. Determined to embrace this new day with the same curiosity, the traveler set out, eager to unravel more of the city's mysteries. Their steps carried them towards the heart of Rome, where the Forum lay like a grand tapestry woven with threads of history. The streets were alive with activity, and the traveler marveled at the diversity of people who called this place home. Merchants peddled their wares, the air alive with the sounds of haggling and laughter, while children darted between the stalls, their giggles like music to the traveler's ears. As they navigated the labyrinthine streets, the traveler found themselves drawn towards a small apothecary tucked away in a quiet corner of the city. The shop was a treasure trove of herbs and potions, the air thick with the scent of lavender and chamomile. An elderly woman, her hands gnarled with age, yet nimble as a young girl's, greeted them with a warm smile. Her eyes, a deep, knowing blue, seemed to see straight into the traveler's soul. "Ah, a curious spirit," she mused, her voice a melodic caress. "What brings you to my humble abode?" The traveler hesitated for a moment, unsure of the answer themselves. "I seek to understand," they replied, their voice barely a whisper, "to learn the secrets of this city and its people." The woman nodded as if she had already known. "Then you must learn the ways of our daily lives," she said, gesturing towards a collection of jars and vials. "In this city, the art of hygiene is one of survival as much as it is of comfort." Intrigued, the traveler listened intently as she explained the rituals of cleanliness practiced by the Romans. She spoke of the public baths, grand edifices of marble and tile, where citizens gathered not only to cleanse their bodies, but to socialize and discuss the affairs of the day. The traveler imagined the warm embrace of the caldarium, the invigorating chill of the frigidarium, the soothing steam that rose like a mist from the tepidarium. The apothecary's eyes twinkled with mischief as she recounted tales of oils and unguents, of perfumed waters and cleansing pastes made from ash and oil. "Even in our most intimate moments," she said with a conspiratorial wink, "we are mindful of our scent and appearance." The traveler's mind spun with the richness of this new knowledge, the layers of meaning hidden within the seemingly mundane acts of daily life. They thanked the woman, leaving the shop with a small vial of rose-scented oil, a token of the connection they felt to this ancient place. As the sun climbed higher in the sky, the traveler made their way to one of the city's famed thermae. The structure loomed before them, an imposing testament to Roman engineering and luxury. Inside, the air was warm and humid, the sound of water echoing off the walls in a soothing symphony. The traveler followed the flow of patrons, their senses alive with the mingling scents of sweat and soap, of lavender and mint. In the dressing room, they shed their garments, joining the throng of bathers who moved with purpose and ease through the chambers. The traveler marveled at the camaraderie, the way strangers greeted each other with familiarity and warmth. Here, in this sanctuary of stone and water, the barriers of class and status seemed to melt away, leaving only the shared human experience of cleansing and renewal. The traveler immersed themselves in the warm waters of the caldarium, feeling the tension of their journey dissolve in the heat. They closed their eyes, allowing the murmurs of conversation to wash over them, a gentle tide of words that spoke of politics and philosophy, of love and loss, of the simple pleasures and profound mysteries of life. Emerging from the bath, their skin tingling with warmth, the traveler moved to the frigidarium, gasping as the cold water shocked their senses awake. It was a baptism of sorts, a reminder of the vitality that coursed through their veins, of the resilience and strength that lay within. As they dressed once more, the traveler felt a renewed sense of clarity and purpose. The day stretched before them like a canvas ripe with possibilities, and they felt certain that whatever challenges lay ahead, they would meet them with grace and courage. Returning to the streets, They wandered aimlessly, content to simply exist in this city that had become a part of their soul. They paused at a small tavern, savoring a simple meal of bread and cheese, washed down with a fragrant wine that tasted of sun-drenched vineyards and distant hills. The afternoon light softened, casting a warm glow over the cobblestones, and the traveler found themselves drawn towards the Tiber, its waters glistening like molten silver. They walked along the riverbank, the gentle lapping of water a soothing counterpoint to the rhythm of their thoughts. In the distance, the silhouette of the Colosseum loomed, a reminder of the city's grandeur and its capacity for both beauty and brutality. The traveler felt a pang of awe and sorrow, a recognition of the complex tapestry of human history woven with strands of triumph and tragedy, of creation and destruction. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky with hues of crimson and gold, the traveler paused to watch the city transform in the twilight. The streets, now bathed in the soft glow of lamplight, seemed almost otherworldly, a dreamscape of shadows and light. In that moment, the traveler understood the true essence of Rome, a city of contradictions, where the ancient and the modern coexist in a delicate dance, where the past is ever present and the future is yet to be written. It was a place where stories were born and reborn, each tale a thread in the vast tapestry of human experience. The travelers smiled, their heart full with the knowledge that they were a part of this story, a single note in the symphony of life that played on in this eternal city. And as they turned to make their way back through the quiet streets, the city's stories, a gentle murmur in their mind, they knew that these tales would accompany them wherever they went, a melody of light and shadow that would linger long after they had departed. As the traveler meandered through the cobblestone streets of ancient Rome, the fragrance of evening blooms mingled with the earthy scent of the city, a bouquet both intoxicating and grounding. The distant laughter of merrymakers echoed softly, carried on the gentle breeze that rustled through the olive trees lining the path. The air was cool now, a welcome respite from the day's heat, and the traveler felt invigorated, their senses heightened, as if the city itself was whispering secrets just for them. The journey took them past grand edifices, their marble facades gleaming under the starlit sky, and humble abodes where the warm glow of hearths flickered through small windows. Each structure, whether grand or modest, held its own story, tales of triumphs and losses, of love and betrayal, whispered through the chiseled stones and worn doorways. As the traveler continued, they found themselves drawn towards the Forum, the heart of Roman life, where the voices of the past seemed to rise from the ground itself. Here, the remnants of towering columns stood like sentinels of history, their presence a testament to the grandeur of civilizations long gone. The traveler paused, running their fingers over the cool stone, tracing the intricate carvings that told tales of gods and mortals, of battles fought and peace won. Yet, even as the traveler marveled at the beauty and complexity of Rome's architecture, a more pressing matter weighed on their mind, the challenge of adapting to the hygiene practices of this ancient world. The thought was both daunting and fascinating, a test of endurance and adaptability that the traveler felt compelled to embrace. As the night deepened, the traveler sought out the public baths, a hub of social interaction and cleanliness, where the citizens of Rome gathered not only to cleanse their bodies, but to exchange news and ideas. The baths of Caracalla loomed ahead, an architectural marvel in itself, its vast halls echoing with the sounds of water and voices. Upon entering, the traveler was enveloped in a cloud of steam, the warmth seeping into their skin, loosening the tension in their muscles. The baths were a sensory delight, a juxtaposition of heat and coolness, sound and silence. The traveler watched as others moved through the space with practiced ease, each step a part of a ritual as old as the city itself. They were led through a series of rooms, each with its own purpose. The frigidarium, with its cold plunge pool, the tepidarium, a warm room for relaxation, and finally, the caldarium, where hot steam enveloped the body, drawing out impurities and leaving the skin aglow. The traveler marveled at the ingenuity of the Romans, at their understanding of the healing powers of water and heat. As they immersed themselves in the warm waters, the traveler felt a connection to the countless souls who had done the same, who had found solace and rejuvenation within these walls. It was a moment of unity transcending time and space, a reminder of the shared human experience that binds us all. But the challenge was far from over. The traveler knew that hygiene in ancient Rome was not merely about physical cleanliness, but a complex weave of customs and practices that dictated daily life. And so, with renewed vigor, they set out to learn more, to delve deeper into the rituals that defined Roman hygiene. Their exploration led them to the bustling markets where the scents of spices and fresh produce mingled with the more pungent aromas of the city. Here, amid the vibrant stalls, the traveler discovered the secrets of Roman grooming, the oils and unguents used to cleanse the body, the powders and perfumes crafted to mask less pleasant odors. The traveler observed as vendors skillfully mixed concoctions, their hands moving with practiced precision, creating blends that promised not only cleanliness, but a touch of luxury. It was a world of rich sensory experiences, of textures and fragrances that spoke to the Roman love of beauty and refinement. Yet, amid the splendor, there was a darker side, a reminder of the challenges faced by those living in such a densely populated city. The traveler learned of the struggles with waste management, of the ingenious yet imperfect systems in place to handle the refuse of thousands. They walked along the Cloaca Maxima, the great sewer of Rome, a marvel of engineering that carried away the city's waste, a crucial but often overlooked aspect of urban life. The traveler marveled at the resilience and resourcefulness of the Romans, at their ability to create a thriving metropolis in the face of such challenges. It was a testament to human ingenuity, to the relentless pursuit of progress despite the obstacles. As the night wore on, the traveler returned to the quietude of their quarters, their mind awash with the day's discoveries. The city outside was hushed, the only sounds the rustle of leaves and the distant call of a night bird. In the stillness, the traveler reflected on the paradox of Rome, a city that was both ancient and timeless, familiar yet foreign. They thought of the people they had encountered, of the stories they had heard, of the lessons learned in this journey through time. It was a reminder of the resilience of the human spirit, of the ability to adapt and thrive in even the most challenging of circumstances. And as the first light of dawn began to creep over the horizon, painting the sky in delicate shades of pink and gold, the traveler knew that they would carry the essence of Rome with them always. The city had become a part of them, a thread woven into the fabric of their being, a reminder of the beauty and complexity of life itself. With a heart full of gratitude and wonder, the traveler drifted into a peaceful sleep. The stories of Rome, a gentle lullaby, their dreams, a tapestry of shadows and light. As the traveler lay enveloped in the tender embrace of slumber, the city of Rome continued its eternal dance, weaving tales of grandeur and simplicity in the hushed whispers of the night. Time seemed to blur, as if the very fabric of history itself had loosened its rigid grip, allowing the echoes of the past to intertwine seamlessly with the present. The traveler found themselves walking once more through the cobblestone streets, the air redolent with the earthy scent of freshly baked bread and the faint tang of olive oil that lingered like a promise in the cool morning breeze. The city was waking, the sun's first rays casting a golden glow upon the towering columns and intricate mosaics that adorned the ancient buildings. Merchants began to open their stalls in the bustling marketplace, their voices a symphony of bartering and banter as they arranged vibrant fruits and exquisite fabrics into displays of kaleidoscopic wonder. The traveler paused to take in the scene, feeling the pulse of the city quicken with each passing moment, the streets coming alive with the rhythm of 1,000 footsteps, each one a story waiting to be told. Among the throng, the traveler spotted a familiar face, a young Roman girl, her hair tied back with a simple yet elegant ribbon, her eyes bright with curiosity and a hint of mischief. She beckoned the traveler with a playful grin, her youthful energy infectious, and together they wove their way through the crowd, the scent of spices and incense mingling in the air around them. Their destination was a public bathhouse, a place where the people of Rome gathered not only to cleanse their bodies, but to engage in the social rituals that bound the community together. As they approached, the traveler marveled at the grandeur of the structure, its towering arches and intricate frescoes reminiscent of a temple dedicated to the pursuit of leisure and wellness. Inside, the bathhouse was a hive of activity, the air thick with steam and the murmur of voices echoing off the marble walls. The traveler was struck by the juxtaposition of opulence and practicality, the blending of utility and artistry that defined so much of Roman life. They followed the girl through the various chambers, each one a different stage in the ritual of purification. The frigidarium with its cold plunge pools, the tepidarium where warm water soothed tired muscles, and finally the caldarium, its hot, enveloping vapors offering a sanctuary from the world outside. As the traveler immersed themselves in the experience, they were reminded of the timelessness of such practices, the universal need for solace and rejuvenation that transcended the boundaries of time and culture. Here, in the heart of ancient Rome, they found a sense of connection not only to the past, but to all who had come before, each one seeking respite from the burdens of daily life. Yet, beneath the surface of this serene ritual, there lay an undercurrent of suspense, an awareness of the challenges that lay beyond the bathhouse's walls. The traveler recalled the stories they had heard, tales of political intrigue and social upheaval, of the delicate balance that maintained the peace and prosperity of this vast empire. It was a reminder of the fragility of civilization, of the ever-present need to adapt and innovate in the face of an ever-changing world. As they emerged from the bathhouse, refreshed and invigorated, the traveler felt a renewed sense of purpose. The girl had disappeared into the throng, her laughter a distant echo, but her spirit lingered in the air, a reminder of the resilience and vitality of the human spirit. The traveler continued their journey through the city, the sun now high in the sky, casting long shadows across the ancient stones. They wandered through the Forum, its grand columns standing as silent witnesses to the passage of time, monuments to the greatness and folly of those who had come before. Here, the traveler felt the weight of history, the echoes of voices long silenced, yet still resonant with the power to inspire and instruct. They paused to listen, to absorb the wisdom of the ages, to reflect on the lessons of Rome and the enduring legacy of its people. As the day wore on, the traveler found themselves drawn to the outskirts of the city, to a place where the hustle and bustle gave way to the serene embrace of nature. They followed a winding path through a grove of olive trees, their gnarled branches reaching skyward in a silent hymn to the sun. The air was filled with the gentle hum of bees and the soft rustle of leaves, a symphony of life that offered a moment of respite from the chaos of the city. Here, in this tranquil oasis, the traveler felt a deep sense of peace, a connection to the earth and the cycles of life that sustained it. They sat beneath the shade of an ancient tree, its roots entwined with the soil like the threads of history itself, and closed their eyes, allowing the gentle breeze to carry them away on a journey of reflection and introspection. In this quiet sanctuary, the traveler pondered the challenges they had faced, the lessons they had learned, and the resilience they had discovered within themselves. They thought of the people who had shared their journey, the merchants and artisans, the scholars and laborers, each one a vital thread in the tapestry of life. It was a reminder of the interconnectedness of all things, of the delicate balance that sustained the world, and the importance of nurturing the bonds that held it together. As the sun began its descent, painting the sky in hues of orange and crimson, the traveler rose to continue their journey. They felt a renewed sense of hope and determination, a commitment to carrying the lessons of Rome with them as they ventured forth into the unknown. The city had left its mark upon their soul, a testament to the power of the human spirit to endure and thrive in the face of adversity. With a heart full of gratitude and wonder, the travelers set out once more, their path illuminated by the fading light of day. They knew that the road ahead would be fraught with challenges, but they also knew that they carried within them the strength and wisdom of all who had come before. And as they walked, the stories of Rome continued to weave their magic, a timeless lullaby that would guide them on their journey, a reminder of the beauty and complexity of life itself. The air was tinged with the sweet, melancholic scent of evening jasmine as the traveler meandered through the narrow cobblestone streets, each step echoing softly in the quietude of the twilight. The city of Rome, with its grand tales etched into every stone and shadow, seemed to breathe alongside them, whispering secrets of antiquity in the gentle breeze that rustled through the olive trees. Each corner turned revealed another facet of this eternal city, a new story waiting to be discovered, a fresh lesson to be learned. As they walked, the traveler felt the gentle caress of the Roman air, a soothing balm against their skin, carrying with it the distant laughter of children playing in the fading light, the warm, inviting aromas of evening meals being prepared, and the soft mutter of voices from those settling in for the night. The city was alive, the traveler found themselves drawn to the ancient Roman baths, a marvel of engineering and social architecture where the art of cleanliness was practiced with a ritualistic reverence. Intrigued by the customs of hygiene that had once been the hallmark of Roman daily life, they stepped inside the grand structure, feeling the cool embrace of marble beneath their feet as they entered the frigidarium, the first chamber of this cleansing pilgrimage. Here, the air was cool and refreshing, a stark contrast to the warmth outside. The traveler marveled at the ingenuity of the Romans, who had harnessed the elements to create such a serene sanctuary. The frigidarium was a place of respite, where the body could be rejuvenated by the crisp waters, washing away the dust of the day. They dipped their fingers into the pool, feeling the invigorating chill of the water, and imagined the thousands who had stood here before, seeking the same solace. Moving onward, the traveler entered the tepidarium, a room imbued with a gentle warmth that enveloped them like a comforting embrace. The light here was softer, filtered through intricately designed windows, casting delicate patterns on the floor as if painted by the hand of an artist. The air was scented with herbs and oils, a heady blend of lavender and chamomile that lulled the senses into a state of tranquil bliss. They could see, in their mind's eye, the conversations and laughter that had filled this space, echoes of lives intertwined in the steam and warmth. Finally, they reached the caldarium, where the heat was intense, a cleansing fire that purged impurities and tension alike. The air shimmered with steam, and the traveler felt the sweat bead upon their skin, a testament to the cleansing process. Here, in this hallowed chamber, the ritual of purification was complete, a testament to the Roman understanding of the body as both a vessel and a temple. As they rested in the caldarium, their thoughts wandered to the lives of those who had once made these baths a part of their daily routine. Each individual a story, a life filled with its own challenges, triumphs, and sorrows. The traveler felt a kinship with these ancient souls, a shared humanity that transcended the boundaries of time and space. They understood now more than ever the importance of the lessons Rome had imparted, the value of community, the necessity of balance, and the power of resilience. Emerging from the baths, cleansed and renewed, the traveler stepped back into the cooling embrace of the Roman night. The stars had begun to twinkle in the indigo sky, a celestial map guiding them towards the next chapter of their journey. The streets were quieter now, the hustle and bustle of the day giving way to a serene stillness that enveloped the city like a gentle lullaby. As they wandered through the dimly lit streets, their path illuminated by the glow of a crescent moon, the traveler pondered the profound connections they had discovered here. The city of Rome, with its rich tapestry of history and culture, had opened their eyes to the enduring strength of the human spirit, to the beauty of shared experiences, and to the timeless dance of life that united all who walked its ancient paths. They understood that survival was not merely a matter of enduring the challenges of the physical world, but of nurturing the spirit, of finding joy in the present moment, and of embracing the interconnectedness of all things. The traveler felt a sense of peace, a quiet certainty that whatever trials lay ahead, they would face them with courage and grace, bolstered by the knowledge and wisdom they had gathered along the way. The night deepened, wrapping the city in a velvety darkness punctuated by the soft glow of lanterns flickering in the distance. The traveler paused to take in the scene. The grandeur of Rome laid bare before them, a testament to the resilience and ingenuity of those who had come before. It was a city built on dreams and ambition, on the hopes and struggles of countless generations, a place where the past and present coexisted in a delicate harmony. With a heart full of gratitude, the traveler continued their journey, stepping into the night with a renewed sense of purpose. The lessons of Rome would stay with them, a guiding star in the vast expanse of the unknown, a reminder of the strength and beauty inherent in the human experience. And as they walked under the watchful eyes of the heavens, they knew that they were not alone, that the stories of those who had walked these paths before them would accompany them on their journey, a chorus of voices whispering of hope, resilience, and the enduring power of the human spirit. In the heart of the ancient city, the traveler found not only survival, but a deeper understanding of life itself. A journey that transcended time, a tale woven into the very fabric of existence, a story that would continue to unfold with each step they took into the mystery of tomorrow. As the traveler ventured further into the labyrinthine streets of ancient Rome, the moon cast its silvery light upon the cobblestones, illuminating a path that seemed both familiar and foreign. The air was thick with the scent of history, a tapestry of aromas that told stories of both grandeur and simplicity. There was the rich, earthy smell of freshly baked bread wafting from a nearby bakery, mingling with the pungent tang of spices from a distant market. Yet beneath these comforting scents lingered the unmistakable odor of the city itself, a reminder of the hygiene challenge that lay at the heart of their journey. In the shadow of the great Colosseum, where the echoes of cheering crowds still seemed to linger, the traveler paused, listening to the whispers of the past. The stones beneath their feet were worn smooth by countless footsteps, each one a testament to lives lived and lost, to dreams fulfilled and dreams forgotten. Here, in the heart of the empire, the traveler was reminded of the delicate balance between civilization and nature, and the relentless flow of time that carried all things forward. As they meandered through the narrow alleyways, the traveler encountered a small fountain, its waters trickling softly in the quiet night. This was not one of the grand aqueducts or majestic public baths that had amazed them earlier, but a humble reminder of the Romans' ingenuity in harnessing the life-giving power of water. They cupped their hands beneath the gentle stream, savoring the coolness against their skin, a small luxury in a world where such moments were rare and precious. The traveler's mind wandered back to the bustling bathhouses they had visited, where the art of hygiene was elevated to a social ritual, a dance of steam and laughter, of cleansing and camaraderie. There, beneath the vaulted ceilings and intricate mosaics, Romans gathered not only to cleanse their bodies, but to cleanse their spirits, to share stories and forge connections in the warm embrace of the Calterium and Frigidarium. It was a place where status and wealth faded away, if only for a few moments, and all were united in the simple act of purification. Yet, as with all things in this ancient world, the luxury of the baths was not without its price. The traveler recalled the stark contrast between the opulent thermae and the reality of life for many in Rome, where clean water was a commodity and hygiene a daily struggle. They had seen the crowded insulae, where families lived in close quarters, their lives a delicate dance of survival in a city that never slept. Here, the scent of humanity was inescapable, a reminder of the resilience and resourcefulness required to thrive in such a vibrant yet challenging environment. As the traveler continued their nocturnal journey, they were drawn to the heart of the city, to the Forum, where the pulse of Rome seemed to beat with renewed vigor even in the stillness of the night. It was a place of commerce and politics, of triumphs and downfalls, where the air was thick with the echoes of impassioned speeches and fervent debates. Here, the traveler could almost hear the voices of Cicero and Caesar, their words etched into the stones that surrounded them, a testament to the power of rhetoric and the enduring legacy of the Republic. In the shadows of the temples and basilicas, the traveler was struck by the realization that hygiene in ancient Rome was as much a matter of philosophy as it was of practicality. The Roman emphasis on public health and cleanliness was rooted in their understanding of the interconnectedness of body, mind, and spirit, a holistic approach that resonated deeply with the traveler's own journey through this ancient world. It was a reminder that survival was not merely about enduring the challenges of the day, but about embracing the full spectrum of human experience, about finding beauty and meaning in the mundane and the miraculous alike. As the night wore on, the traveler found themselves drawn to the Tiber, its waters reflecting the moonlight like a ribbon of silver winding through the heart of the city. Here, at the edge of the river, they paused to reflect on the lessons of the day, on the complexities of a world that seemed both alien and achingly familiar. They thought of the people they had met along the way, of the vibrant tapestry of life that unfolded in the streets and markets, in the homes and temples of this ancient city. There was the young woman who had shared her bread with the traveler, her laughter brightening the dim alleyway where they had crossed paths. There was the elderly man who had recounted tales of gladiators and emperors, his eyes alight with memories of a Rome that was both glorious and brutal. There were the children playing in the streets, their laughter a reminder of the simple joys that persisted even in the face of adversity. In these encounters, the traveler found echoes of their own journey, of the challenges and triumphs that had shaped their path. They realized that the hygiene challenge of ancient Rome was not merely a test of endurance, but a journey of discovery, a chance to connect with a world that, despite its differences, was united by the timeless threads of humanity. As the first light of dawn began to chase away the shadows, the traveler knew that their time in this ancient city was drawing to a close. But they also knew that the lessons of Rome, the stories and experiences that had woven themselves into the fabric of their being, would accompany them on their journey, a guiding star in the vast expanse of the unknown. With a heart full of gratitude and a spirit renewed by the resilience and beauty of the human experience, the traveler turned their gaze to the horizon, ready to step into the mystery of tomorrow. They knew that the stories of those who had walked these paths before them would continue to whisper of hope, resilience, and the enduring power of the human spirit, a chorus of voices guiding them on their journey through the ever-unfolding tale of life itself. As they took their final steps through the cobblestone streets, the traveler paused to soak in the last echoes of the city. The sun, now fully risen, cast a golden hue over the ancient stones, imbuing them with a warmth that seemed to pulse with the life of centuries past. Every archway, every fountain, every whispering alley held a piece of the past, a fragment of a story that had been told 1,000 times and yet was always new to those who listened. As they made their way to the edge of the city, the traveler carried with them not just memories, but a deeper understanding of the connections that bind us all. The laughter of children playing in piazzas, the quiet moments shared with strangers who became friends, the shared reverence for history, and the collective hope for the future. All these experiences had melded into a tapestry of existence that transcended time and place. The traveler realized that every journey, no matter how far or near, was a part of a larger narrative, one that wove together the stories of countless souls in a grand, intricate design. And as they crossed the threshold from the familiar into the unknown, they felt a sense of peace, knowing that they were but a single note in the symphony of life, yet an essential one. With one last look back at the city that had embraced them so fully, the traveler whispered a silent farewell. They stepped forward with a heart open to the wonders of the world, ready to embrace whatever lay ahead. Each step was a promise, a testament to the enduring adventure of living, where every ending was simply a new beginning waiting to unfold. And thus, the traveler continued onward into the vast, uncharted realms of possibility, carrying with them the timeless essence of Rome, the eternal city, as a beacon of what it means to be truly alive. As the traveler ventured forth, the road unfurled like a ribbon under the sun-kissed sky, each mile imbued with promise and potential. The whispers of the past echoed softly in the breeze, their memories interwoven with dreams yet to be realized. Every landscape they passed sang its own song, a melody of hills and valleys, rivers and fields, each note resonating with the rhythm of the earth. In the quiet moments between dusk and dawn, the traveler found solace in the stars, those distant, twinkling companions that had guided countless wanderers before them. They understood now that the stars were not just points of light in the sky, but markers of the infinite paths one could choose in life. And with every night that fell, the traveler was reminded of the infinite possibilities that lay ahead, shimmering like constellations in the vast, dark canvas above. The journey was not without its challenges, for the road was as unpredictable as it was inviting. Yet, with each obstacle, the traveler discovered new strengths, hidden reserves of courage and wisdom that had lain dormant within them. These trials, they learned, were not deterrents, but invitations to grow, to evolve into someone who could embrace the world with open arms and an unyielding spirit. As the seasons changed, painting the world in hues of gold and amber, the traveler found themselves in a small village nestled amidst rolling hills. Here they paused, drawn by the warmth of community and the simple joys of shared stories and laughter around a communal fire. It was in these moments of connection that the traveler realized the true essence of their journey, the bonds forged with others, the shared experiences that transcended words. And so, with a heart full of gratitude and eyes wide with wonder, the traveler continued onward, ever forward. Each day was a new chapter, a blank page upon which they could inscribe their tale. And in this endless dance of exploration and discovery, they found the truth that had eluded them at the outset, that life itself was the greatest adventure, a journey not measured by distance traveled, but by the depth of understanding gained and the love shared along the way. The road stretched ahead, endless and inviting, and with a spirit unburdened by the weight of the past, the traveler embraced the horizon. For in this dance of life, every step was a brushstroke on the canvas of existence, painting a masterpiece of infinite possibilities, each more beautiful than the last. And thus, the journey continued, forever unfolding, a testament to the boundless wonder of being alive. In the gentle embrace of twilight, as the sun dipped below the horizon, the traveler paused to take in the symphony of colors that painted the sky. It was a moment suspended in time, where the past and future seemed to converge in a harmonious whisper, carrying secrets of the universe. The cool breeze carried with it the scent of distant lands and the promise of new beginnings, wrapping around them like an old friend. The trail beneath their feet was a tapestry woven with threads of laughter, tears, and wisdom gathered from every soul they had encountered. Each footfall was a reminder that the journey was not a solitary endeavor, but a collective tapestry of shared dreams and aspirations. The traveler understood now that they were but a single note in the grand symphony of life, each interaction a harmonious chord that enriched their melody. As stars began to prick the velvet sky, the travelers set their gaze upon the constellations, those ancient storytellers that had guided countless others before them. Their heart swelled with the knowledge that they too were a part of something vast and timeless. The universe, in its infinite expanse, mirrored the boundless nature of their own spirit. With the night unfolding around them, the traveler took a deep breath, feeling the earth solid and reassuring beneath their feet. They knew that the road would twist and turn, rise and fall, but as long as they walked with an open heart, they would never lose their way. For in the end, it was not the destination that mattered, but the journey itself, the moments of connection, the quiet reflections, the courage to embrace the unknown. And so, with a final tender glance at the path behind them, the traveler stepped forward into the night. The stars above seemed to twinkle in acknowledgement, as if to say, "Welcome home." The journey was endless, a beautiful odyssey of growth and love, and with each step, the traveler danced to the rhythm of life, crafting a story that would echo in the hearts of those yet to come. As the traveler moved into the velvety embrace of the night, the world around them seemed to hold its breath, honoring the sacred silence that accompanied new beginnings. The gentle rustle of leaves whispered secrets only the wind could carry, and the moon cast its silvery glow, painting the landscape with a serene, otherworldly light. Each footfall was a melody, harmonizing with the symphony of crickets and the distant murmur of a brook. With every step, the traveler felt the weight of past burdens lift, replaced by a lightness born of newfound freedom. The path, though shrouded in mystery, was alive with promise, inviting them to discover its hidden treasures. In those serene moments, the traveler realized that they were not alone. Though the journey was solitary, they were accompanied by the echoes of those they had met along the way, the laughter shared, the tears shed, the wisdom imparted. These memories were woven into the fabric of their being, guiding them like constellations in an uncharted sky. As dawn began to blush on the horizon, the traveler paused, feeling the warmth of the first light kiss their skin. It was a gentle reminder that every end is but a new beginning, a chance to write the next chapter of their story with courage and grace. With a heart full of gratitude and eyes wide with wonder, the traveler embraced the vastness of the unknown. The road stretched endlessly before them, a testament to life's infinite possibilities. And so, with the rising sun as their witness, they continued to walk a path of their own making, knowing that the true beauty of the journey lay in the stories yet to unfold. As the traveler took those first steps into the new day, the world around them seemed to hold its breath, as if recognizing the significance of this moment. The landscape, once shrouded in the mystery of night, now revealed itself in vibrant hues, each color a promise of the adventures yet to come. The air was crisp with the scent of possibility, and the gentle rustle of leaves whispered secrets of the earth, urging the traveler to listen closely and tread softly. Every step felt lighter than the last, buoyed by the knowledge that the journey was not merely a series of destinations, but a tapestry of experiences, each thread contributing to the richness of their life. The traveler understood that the path was not a straight line, but a winding trail, full of unexpected turns and delightful surprises. It was a dance with destiny, where every choice and every breath held meaning. As the traveler moved forward, they carried with them the echoes of their past, a mosaic of moments, both triumphant and tender, that had shaped their spirit and informed their dreams. These memories were like gentle lanterns, illuminating the way and reminding them of who they were and who they aspired to be. The sun climbed higher, painting the sky in shades of gold and azure, a celestial canvas that mirrored the traveler's inner journey. With each heartbeat, they felt a profound connection to the world around them, as if the universe itself were an eager companion in their quest for understanding and belonging. And so, with a heart open to the miracles of the everyday and a soul attuned to the whispers of the wind, the traveler ventured on, trusting in the wisdom of the road and the promise of the horizon. For they knew that life's greatest treasures were not found in the destination, but in the journey itself, a journey that would continue to unfold moment by moment, like a beautifully written story awaiting its next chapter.